Marayawan norti yapraki unu hatawa yamaraka uyanna sitrayawate yamakutui atanawahat imakai awasa alati tudo am tirawaki yamaraka watara ye nandara tuye sim turti yamarakito yanata awa kiete ratu yotrama antikisia satrama annoiteraka yato hatara ye makiwana sanaraya walate turmaki narahatwaya namaraki wate sate wate. Namaste, good morning, welcome, welcome. You are well. Come. This is a little spontaneous morning soul flow. I haven't done this in a while and look forward to it because this is our joy. Just hit live and see what appears. What we wish to share in these changing times is that those who are rigid and stuck and dogmatic, those who hold firm to what worked yesterday, what worked 3 years ago, what worked 5 years ago, what 10 years ago, are going to really struggle at this time. Because the rate of change in every facet of human reality on Earth now is growing exponentially. This is illustrated in a physical way with the expansion of technology. So if you imagine the expansion of technology and data and all of those things, how quickly they're expanding, it's an exponential expansion. So if you imagine that as in a physical sense, that's a slowed down, condensed, denser version of expansion, which has happened exponentially. So if you extrapolate that into spirit, into soul, into divine human, it's beyond the comprehension of the human mind, the exponential shifts, changes, transformations that are appearing now. And so there can be dogma and there can be stigmas and there can be ideas that are held rigid in the ascension community, in the awakening communities, in the spiritual communities, where they hold on to certain ideas, certain savior programs, certain timelines, certain, our favorite, events that they're waiting on or whatever. And those rigid ideas, it's going to be a real challenge for those that hold on, that they feel like they've got the idea of how things are going to be. Those who can see the future, those who make predictions, those who have a certain idea of the world that creates like a bubble or a sphere of what's happening, what's possible. There's going to be a real challenge because this exponential expansion, unlike the technology example, that's moving, it's exponentially growing in its capacity, but it's still in compared to quantum and compared to soul evolution, in comparison to that, it's still a linear expansion. So it's just moving for more data, doing things quicker, more technology, more ways in which, and if we looked at it in truth, more ways in which things that humans have been doing, technology will be doing more. It's still a linear progression, even though it's exponential in comparison. The spirit or the soul or the human evolution that's happening now is exponential inwards and outwards simultaneously. So you can imagine blowing up a balloon as far as it can go, and then an inward introspection, or instead of evolution, it's an involution. It's a coming in upon itself and a going and expanding outwards. That exponential growth, like a sphere outwards and a sphere inwards, like going infinitely out and infinitely in, that exponential expansion and contraction, simultaneous transformation, is happening within the very cells of our being, within the fabric of our reality. So you're going to be seeing so much confusion, so much timeline merging and melting, and ideas like birthing and dying in the one breath. You know, groupings that have come together are going to fall apart. New groups are going to come together again. There's different phases and stages that'll be coming together, falling apart, coming together, falling apart. But this involution and evolution, this simultaneous expansion, and I don't want to call it a contraction because it's not a contraction. It's an involution. It's an inward expansion. We're going to use paradoxical language here to explain something that isn't in the language actually. And so if you imagine you're holding on to your idea of the balloon, your idea of the sphere, your sphere of influence, your sphere of ideas, and it's constantly pushing you outwards to expand outward, and it's constantly, again, don't want to use this involution. So it's constant pressure to expanding outwards and constant pressure, and I don't mean pressure in a negative way. It's a constant evolution, involution, natural expansion energy that's transforming everything about this reality, everything about our body beings, everything about everything we thought we knew is constantly getting squeezed in one way and expanded in another. So if we're holding on tight to what was, even yesterday, even 3 seconds ago, we're going to get pressure, and people are going to, you feel this physically. You're going to like feel actual literal pressure on you. Sometimes I feel like pressure coming down on my shoulders. It's energetic. It's not like pain, like normal physical pain or something, or even emotional pain. It's like you feel a pressure, and it's like the pressure of the carbon becoming the diamond. Great pressures, great forces are required for the transformation to the crystalline nature of reality, to the clarity of the crystalline nature, where the density and the shadow of the carbon, you can't see it, we're moving to translucent, we're moving to transparent. This transformation to translucent, to transparent, is moving away from the density and the darkness and the shadow and the darkness and the ability to deceive, the ability to be manipulated, the ability to see something here and not see it here. If you hold tight or you're hold rigid or you're stuck in your ways, it's going to be painful. And if we just allow, because this process is happening as us, for us, through us, to renew us. If we just let it happen, don't resist. It's impossible to resist, but we have very stubborn human tendencies where we think we can resist these things. If we just allow it to take its course, be like what Ananda shared in the book, is like tread lightly on the land and like hold concept of yourself and concept of things and hold it very lightly. Doesn't mean don't hold on to any concept. You can play with the concept for a moment, but like hold it lightly, like you're holding something very delicate. That the second the wind changes and everything shifts, is like you're not like holding on like this to try and keep it. If something changes, okay, let it go and let whatever else is coming through. Like the way it's like water. When you try and grab water, you try, not like you can grab something physical, you can grab it like that, you grab it hard, and you can grab it. Try and do that with water. What happens? It just goes through. It doesn't matter how hard, how strong your system is of grabbing, it's just going to fall right through. So if we're just like that, because it's fluid, and it's important just to remember at this time that is expanding exponentially, this evolution, involution, and that if you are in alliance and surrender, and again, this is easy to say, a whole different thing to play, is to be gentle with yourself, be very gentle in knowing that every atom, every electron of your being is shifting, changing, evolving, transforming to this translucent, transparent, crystalline nature. And it's coming from this dark, dense, carbon-based, with all its smoke and mirrors and all its possibilities of coming and toing and froing and misdirection. That can be a challenging process. If you imagine that, that diamond in process, that masterpiece in the making, it takes great forces and it takes great pressure. And just for the consciousness of the individuation of the being called human, called you, the mastery of letting go, the mastery of surrender, is one of the greatest masteries that we're offered. The ability to let go when everything seems to be falling apart. The ability, and don't wait until we're shook so much that we're forced to. So we have to go into an illness or a breakdown or an accident or something. We don't have to wait for that. Let go, let go, let go, accept what is, allow what is, just be with what is, and hold lightly, tread lightly, and be light. So you can delight your spirit, delight your soul, delineate and triangulate your location in spirit within this physical realm, but don't hold tightly to it. Let it be, let it move through you like the water. Let your hands make ripples, but don't try and grab the water. Don't try and stop it. Don't try and force evolution or involution. Don't try and hold on to what was. Don't build an identity of what you did before, what worked before, who you were with before, where you were going. Let life inform you. Let life evolve you and involve you in its process of evolution and involution and transformation to this translucent, transparent, crystalline nature of who you truly are. This has been the Morning Soul Flow, keeping it a little bit shorter because we've got a little process to be today. And if there's anything you'd like us to cover in these videos, please drop in the comments. Let us know anything you'd like to follow. We have a YouTube channel now. We've got the whole 365 days of the book, A Life of Bliss, Living Transmission. You can see the playlist on there, 365 videos on there. We've got a playlist on death. We've got a playlist on my pranic process, which I need to update. There's another playlist which I can't remember, interviews and those sorts of things. And yeah, check out the YouTube channel Mike Nicol and subscribe there. Hit the little like button and share it with those who have eyes to see and ears to hear and hearts to feel. And until next time, from my heart to yours, the divine in me sees, loves and honors the divine in you. Namaste. We are